Evening, people. Welcome to BNR. Welcome to another evening show. I mean, you've made me happy today. You know what? That was the best surprise I've had in a while. I know I sound like a boring bee, but when I came on, bloody hell, you were early. We were late, but you were early, and you came on. I thought, what the hell? I didn't even send you the link. I didn't even think you were at home. Well, you're not at home. You're not at work. You're in the car, and that's why you're not showing your face today. Even though I do miss you, I miss you always, but. Respect, man. My brother. I was just about to go live. I thought I came on live. Gene's traveling, and I thought I'd carry the channel. You know how it is. The grind's the grind, and I thought I'd just get in touch with the people who have been talking about Alexander Isak. But I came on, and you were already here. So fair play. What's going on? You can have bad reception today. It's all right. You've kept me company, but. What's going on? And have you kept up to date with the news? Are you excited? Are you slightly, quietly confident?
You've got to be. That's quite the introduction, actually. It's quite for the first time you've been nice to me, Asim. But no, I couldn't let you go on your own.
Hmm.
Gina's nursing a broken shoulder or something, nerve pain.
There he is.
Yeah,
He's in the chat. He's in the chat. He's in
I
the
was on
chat
the
in that same hotel room.
I was on the phone to him, and he said, "Oh, Asim's going live." I said, "Who's he going live with?" That's when I thought, let me see if I can give you about 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes today. So I
Respect.
am driving. I should be home in about 20 minutes. I'll see if I can quickly log on. But yeah, I'm here whilst camera's off while I'm driving. But Isaac, Isak, Asim, look, there's no doubt that there's real interest in the player. It is now all about I think crunching the numbers is very important as well, but it
Yeah.
all depends on whether Newcastle can get in two replacements. I know there's talk of João Pedro being very close. I'm not sure how concrete that is, but I would assume and presume that someone like Hugo Ekitike would be on
Okay.
Newcastle's lips as well. I know Frankfurt are in the Champions League, but so are Newcastle. If they were looking for a replacement for Isaac, who could probably get fair few goals, maybe not as prolific as Isak yet, but Ekitike could be that man. Ekitike and Pedro, that resembles that's very good business for a club like Newcastle, and then they could maybe look at the possibility of dealing with Liverpool for their main man, who is Alexander Isak. And look, if we've been talking about it, it's gonna become boring, but we keep
Mm.
saying it. That next level, that Champions League glory that we pine for, you need players like Isaac. You need players like Florian Wirtz. You need a Mohamed Salah. You need a Cody Gakpo on the left. You need the players. You need elite players because we've seen this PSG team, Asim, and it looks as if they're favourites already for this Club World Cup. They are
Yeah.
very relentless. They're a young team that it's only going to get better, by the way. That PSG team is only going to get better. This could be a new dawn, a new era for Enrique's PSG as long as he's there over the next sort of 3-4 years. They could win it back to back, and they could win a fair few European Cups over the next sort of 5, 6, 7 year period because they've had a change in stance with their transfer policy. But yeah, look, Isaac, I'm all in, Asim. I don't know about you, but all my eggs are in one basket. I think the fall off after that. I think
How
the
many
fall off
baskets have we got this summer, Avi? How many baskets have we got?
when it comes to Isak, only one basket because the fall off or the drop off in level is huge, Asim.
Bobby, it's not a basket. We've got a trolley this summer.
We do have a trolley, but for that number 9 position, it is one basket, Asim.
Okay. Let's just quickly read what exactly Ben Jacobs, I don't know if you actually caught it. He said, and it has to be said that Alex Crook has been saying very, very similar things as well. And as we know, Ben Jacobs and Alex Crook do work closely together. But he came out with an exclusive today, and he says Liverpool believe there could be a window of opportunity to sign Alexander Isak and believe it is worth trying. Newcastle still insists is not for sale. Liverpool could offer a guaranteed 100 million and bonuses that would potentially exceed the deal of Florian Wirtz. I had a quick look at exactly what he said on camera as well. I think he was on Talk Sport. I might be wrong, but wherever he was on, he was talking about the deal, Avi, and he went on to say, well, that value that Newcastle have, it could be 150. It could even go and touch 200 million. surely Liverpool know where their line is. But we've all been talking about it that if Alexander Isak is one willing to do some stuff where it might make the deal either easier for us, whether he has a bad back all of a sudden or anything like that. But he does need to maybe even privately maybe put in a transfer request. Can you see this player? Don't get to see a lot of interviews, maybe because we're just too engrossed with Liverpool content. But he's not in the headlines, is he? Even though he's a massive, one of the best players in the Premier League, we don't see a lot of his face. But maybe it's that type of guy, quiet, shy, but deadly on the pitch. But can you see him kicking up a fuss to get this big move for him? This,
Asim, Asim, I think he's a bit like his ice cold finishing, isn't it? He's just about business,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
Head down, putting up the numbers as a number 9, and I think he just does that maybe. And we don't know what happens away from the football and what he does in his personal life, and we don't need to know that. But it does seem that he's not one to kick up a fuss. I think he'll be one to outline his ambition and outline his sort of future thoughts with Newcastle.
mm,
I don't think he's one to hand in a transfer request, and that sort of hand in the transfer request is sort of an old cliche now in the footballing game. As in players nowadays, we know that they kick up fusses, or they can kick up a fuss, or they can not give a transfer request, but they can play games, isn't it? Mind games or a bit of gamesmanship in other ways.
yeah,
We've seen it with Coutinho, feigning an injury or feigning a back injury to secure a summer move to Barcelona, which couldn't happen, but it did happen that following January of 2017-18 season. With Isak, I think he'd be polite about it, Asim, whether that makes sense or not. But he's one to probably say to his agent, look, Liverpool are coming. They're knocking on the door. Who knows whether they come in next summer or not? But this is the opportunity at 26. I want to play for a big club. Dortmund were a huge club when he joined them. Maybe it was a tad too early. Goes to Sociedad, finds his feet, comes to Newcastle, and now look, Newcastle have the fan base to be a big club in the future. But right now,
mm,
where they are, they're not on that Liverpool level or that Manchester City level or that Arsenal level. Um, we're there right now, and this is that opportunity where, listen, if there's money on the table, if there's talk of this 130 million pound deal that can happen, I
yeah.
think Newcastle would be prepared to come to the table as well,
Even though
Asim.
they
And
got Champions League, even though they got super rich owners.
I think they will be okay. If Isaac outlines his future, I think Newcastle will be prepared to deal, providing that Newcastle are able to shop in the window first, in terms of getting their replacements in first, and then saying to Liverpool, "Here you go. Let's agree a transfer, and we will give you the services of Alexander Isak."
Okay,
Are you
let's
in the
see.
same thinking, or are you maybe thinking differently that he could
Avi,
put in a transfer request?
Avi, so many. Look, it depends. I got a message today. Um, I did do some digging. I spoke to two people, um, and one replied saying, decision is in his hands, and Arsenal have moved on from him. Um, Apparently, they were only threats, and I think that is general consensus amongst the Premier League. There were two people or two clubs were going to go for him. Um, so that wasn't really big news for me or any insight really. But the same person said one of our journalists apparently have spoken to someone at Newcastle, and they've told Isak to make a decision in the next week or two. They've gone from not for sale to make a decision. Um, this person who normally doesn't give me news or anything like that has kindly sent me this message. He does get bits, to be fair to him, but I'll be honest, I'm not there yet, Avi. I'm not excited. Do I have Frimpong feelings? Do I have the same Florian Wirtz or Florian feelings? I'll be honest, I'm not there yet. I'm waiting for someone who really, with a good, proven track record or giving me information, gives me something. And at the moment, that's not happened, in all honesty. And the second person, I just thought I'd go onto WhatsApp right now. Um, also was, just bear with me, just bear with me. Um, yes, a sale not impossible, but let's see. Don't want to get too carried away just yet. If I was you,
And I think
so
that's a, I think that's the fair stance to take right now. But Asim, I think it's very, it's obviously evident, but I think it's very interesting that there's only talk of Liverpool pursuing Alexander Isak. There was talk of Arsenal earlier in the year, maybe even like a couple of months ago, towards the end of the season. But it does seem evident that either the player would
mm,
only join Liverpool, or Liverpool are the only club in for him, because Arsenal, I don't know, it seems as if they've got a bit of a inconsistent window, or I don't know what
yeah,
their thoughts are. I think they've got to move a few sort of jigsaws around
mm,
to make big deals happen. I think Alexander Isak is a stretch too far for them financially. I think the
mm,
only club right now in the Premier League that can secure Alexander Isak's services are Liverpool. Now, the question is, and it's going to go back, either Newcastle come out with a statement over the next sort of course of the next 2 weeks and say, Alexander Isak is not for sale this summer, period.
mm.
And clubs do
and
that.
and and
Clubs
that
do.
is a great point, Avi. I think because normally when there is a some talk, and Alex Crook, he gets really good information. I think he even got the exclusive, and Caicedo, the bid, Caicedo bid broke out a couple of years ago, and then recently he does get bits and bobs. But I think that's what you're saying is, Avi, is I think is a great point where the news is out now. Two credible journalists have come out and said Liverpool are prepared to pull the trigger again once this summer. And nobody has shut it down, whether it's the Liverpool journals or the Northern correspondents.
Yeah, and Ornstein said, look, there is interest for Alexander Isak, and it'll take a Joyce Bomba in a negative way, or James Pearce, bad news Pearce, as he gets that nickname so many times, for someone to come out and say, look, Liverpool have no interest in Alexander Isak. That tells us that there's definitely concrete interest, and I think there is some belief. And I don't want to get carried away either, but I have a bit of optimism, and the belief that Liverpool will definitely make a play for Isak. Now, when people say, "What does that mean?" Avi, you're talking in bloody, Pythagoras theorem again.
Mm,
Making a play is, I think we will hear of an official bid going in for Alexander Isak,
wow,
providing that Newcastle don't come out with a statement before then. And this is
wow.
what I mean: over the next 10 days, saying there is no way that we are selling Alexander Isak. He's happy. Both player and club are happy with the direction of Newcastle. This summer he
Mm,
is not for sale. Instead of selling out assets, we want to be rebuilding
mm,
on what was a successful season for them. And you've got to give credit to Eddie Howe and Newcastle, and the Saudis have a bit of money. They can stretch their financial muscle this summer, Asim, and I think they're looking in Brazil. They're looking at a couple of South Americans, away from the João Pedro talk. So
mm,
they'll be spending, but until we don't hear any conclusive sort of confirmation from Newcastle's end,
yeah.
we have every right to have a bit of belief that this deal is
Oh.
possible for this summer.
Okay, I'm going to ask you how much that first bid is going to be, but a couple of things before then, Avi. One is an Arsenal fan has become a YouTube member for BNR. Now, I think that is unbelievable. An Arsenal fan showing support for a Liverpool channel, that I don't want to say embarrasses the rest of you because there's no embarrassment here, but it shows a love and support that an Arsenal fan has hopped on and become a member of a Liverpool channel. So maybe it entices you guys to do the same, because every time we're going to, I promise you that it will be 2-3 shows a week that are exclusive to members only. We're just setting some things in the background, and I promise you in the next 3-4 weeks, and you'll exactly know what I'm on about when we release some big news in regards to the channel in about 3-4 weeks. You'll know exactly what I meant, that we're planning some stuff for the members. And secondly, I also got given a stat today, Avi, that 54% of our viewers have not subscribed to BNR. I know you're not a stat man, Avi.
That's no, but that stat is that's a ridiculous stat. And look, 54% haven't subscribed. It's very easy, guys. It's just a click of a button. And look, we're providing content. Members are gonna get exclusive shows. We're working on a whole host of things over the summer, and we want to make sure that we're ready for the new season before we start confirming what's in the pipeline. But look, there's exciting news happening with the channel, and announcements will be made. And look, we're not saying become a channel member. The decency thing, at least to do for us and supporting this channel, is by subscribing. The more subscribers help with algorithms, the more viewerships. It all helps with where we are ranked as a Liverpool-based channel, not a Liverpool-based channel, but an LFC YouTube channel. And look, content is coming in big ways. Next season, we're taking the game to another level. So, guys, look, 54% haven't subscribed. That's ridiculous, and that's quite embarrassing as well. So I'll double make sure that I've subscribed. I'll get my buddy to subscribe as well, Asim. But yeah, all the 54%ers, please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Avi, have you got your burners to subscribe? You must have about 5, 6 of them.
You know, I don't have any YouTube burners, Asim. I don't even know how to create a burner on YouTube. Twitter, yeah, I've got plenty of burners. I've got plenty of burners on Twitter, on X.
Have
but
you?
on YouTube, yeah, of course, you know, you need
all that abuse. I know exactly where it's coming from now.
Yeah, that's coming from one of the burners, one of many. But Asim, what's your thoughts? Surely there is belief in your camp or in your household that Isak is a possible deal, because look, okay, say we don't get Isak, Asim, do we still pull a trigger on another number 9?
It has to be at the right price, Avi. It has to be. I put a tweet out today, and the non. I don't want to go down the stat route, but generally speaking, at face value, Isak's finishing, even the underlying numbers, are a worry without penalties, Avi. And he's missed a few, which has affected those stats, but these are without, and he's about minus 0.19, and that tells me. And he takes a lot of shots as well, so there is a bit of, Darwin Núñez in him. But surely we're not privy to the information and the data that these guys and the nerds get. But I think they see him, and everyone probably agrees that they see him as a project signing. So can they go big at him with him 80, 90 million euros, at 100 million euros? I just cannot see it. I cannot see them pulling the trigger with Ekitike with that sort of price. I think Liverpool are all in on Isak, Avi. And they may just wait for him. I think we've shown it before with Naby. We've shown it with, obviously, with Verge, with Alisson. If we have to wait for another year, and that might be in another 12 months, where
I'm sorry if my line cuts off. It's just because I'm entering my house and my reception is a bit bad. But I'll join with my Wi-Fi. Yeah, so give me about 5 minutes if I don't respond.
TK. So what I was saying now is that maybe in 12 months' time we will revisit it. And if Newcastle still don't want to sell, then I think we will.
So you don't think you don't? So you're definitely not in the, so you're not in the belief that it's this summer or bust for Isak.
No, not totally. Not totally. Even because I did think about it. Next year, I think this time next year, he will be 26, 27 in January. Now, is that, if you're going to go by Ian Graham, listening to his pods over the last 3-4 months, you think it's too late? And the general feeling that he was talking about, Avi, is, we probably go for attackers at 23, 24. Defenders, we can wait a bit, even if they're around about 25, 26, maybe 27, because defenders, generally speaking, don't rely on their legs. Even someone like Matip, for example, who was never the quickest, but was unbelievable for us, even the wrong side of 30. So they have generally speaking, they have a bigger shelf life, if you like. So, but the attackers, especially for Liverpool in this league, the physicality, the pace needed, the moment you lose a yard, it's very difficult. So if you're going to go invest 100 million pounds in Alexander Isak next year, then realistically, what have you got? 4 or 5 years from him? Is that accurate?
Yeah, if you think he's 27, plays at the 32, even beyond, you know, you just look at
Alex says
Salah,
27 in
who's playing
September
at 33,
next
and
year. No,
he doesn't. Oh, so he's 27 next year. So he's 25 right now. Then he's 25,
20.
25 now. Then
Yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, he's 25
then
yet
I then I
now.
then I think, yeah, then I agree with you. I think age or not, when it comes to his level of finishing and his sort of you know, the player, the kind of player that he is, I think would be prepared to wait a year. But ideally, I think he's a player that we want for this summer.
Yeah. Avi, it looks like you're losing reception, so maybe just go off. If you want to hop on, then by all means, no problem. But I couldn't really hear you there. Okay, we'll wait for Avi to come in. It'll give me an opportunity just to run through some super chats. By the way, there's still 633 of you guys here. Please just whack that like button and put the bell on as well, so you stay in touch with all our content. Rumi says, Eki TK could be a different player with Wirtz, Salah, Maka. Yeah, true. But Rumi, the people that I talk to at the club, you know, if you're going to spend 60, 70, 80 million pounds, yes, there is scope to scale you up as a player, improve you as a player, but you know, you generally need to show the underlying numbers yourself. And I think, you know, maybe they're seeing something else that they can. Maybe it's the shot volume that is, you know, enticing them, thinking that this player is a player who can connect, play neat and tidy. He's got a good touch, and that's what Arnie Slot prefers. But they also like his, you know, shot volume, that he does get a lot of shots off. So look, what we're given through these websites, even though I do subscribe to a few websites that do give me really good data, but it's not the kind of the websites or the kind of stuff that Liverpool nerds will be looking at. So it'll be interesting to see, especially at 80, 90 million pounds at Rumi. And we've talked about it on numerous occasions that Frankfurt do get their money. I even nearly forgot today. We were having a conversation about Pacho. I thought I just somehow in my head, I thought he went for free, but they got 40 million from him, and he's turned out to be a really good defender. If you're going to go by you know, this year's form, he's settled really well at PSG. And then obviously the obvious ones, Jovic to Real Madrid, Marmoush, they always get their money. And in a similar fashion, where Frankfurt are in the Champions League and Newcastle are in the Champions League, if someone's really comfortably having sold arguably one of their best players or the best player in January just to Man City for good money, then are they really desperate? Do you have to pay an extra 10, 15 million pounds just to get the player in your squad? You probably are. Are Liverpool that desperate? Do you think, or do they think, you know, are they relaxed to go with the likes of Wirtz and Jota and Luis Diaz up top, and you still got, you know, Frimpong, Salah and Gakpo on the wings? Let's go through to with some super chats. Alex, big up, mate. Always supporting the channel. He says, if it's not Isak, we don't usually do alternatives. We're relaxed. And how many fans, you have to hold your hands up, and I will with both hands up. Did I panic last year? I probably didn't panic, but I was worried about the fact that we're not doing any business. He's a new manager taking over a massive icon in Jurgen Klopp, on and off the pitch. That you have to back him, give him 100 million to go and spend at least one player. And then they did, and they said, okay, look, we'll do Zubimendi, and he didn't come for obvious reasons, and that wasn't our fault, to be honest, and in all fairness towards the owners.
Hello, attention, can you hear me?
Anjay, have you got any breaking news?
Asim, 10 seconds, just 10 seconds.
Why didn't you just wait for 10 seconds and then come back in?
Oh, no, I just wanted to make sure that you can hear me loud and clear, because I'm
only joking, Avi. You're allowed to do whatever you want today, man. You kept me company. Mania, honestly. I'm just going to go through a few more super chats while you're sorting yourself out. H, big up H. He says Arsenal fans joining the channel as members. Liverpool fans can't even like the video. Come on, people, don't embarrass us. I'm glad you said that. But Mohsin's taking your advice, H. Mohsin Khan became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Mohsin, and thank you so much for the support and love you always give us in the chat. Avi, can you hear me? Angie.
I'm just flushing. I've just had to go for a quick piss. 1 minute.
Yeah, let me put him on mute, man. Ali Hanjay. Ali Isak is coming. Asim Isak is coming. Believe.
If Ali is believing, then we have to all believe. We have to all believe. That's it.
Are you having a piss while she's talking to me? Oh, he's lost reception. He must be in the toilet. I was going to ask Avi, how much do you think that first bid is going to be from Liverpool? Then are you here?
I'm back. I've got my camera as well.
Okay, Anjay.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm here now. Can you see me?
I can't see you, no.
Anjay, you can see me now, look.
No. Can people see Avi? I can't. I can see a black screen.
No, I'm here, look.
Anjay.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, okay, going back to your Isak then. First bid. How much do you think Liverpool put on the table first up?
I think the first bid will be dot on 100 million plus add-ons. Add-ons equating to about 20 million.
20 million. So you think what, 120 million pounds?
120 million pounds, yeah. Not
so
euros.
That's about what, about 155 euros or something? Something like that, isn't it? But it'll be more than Florian Wirtz. Is that what you said, telling me?
Yeah. I think it will surpass Florian Wirtz. An all package deal. It will definitely be more than the Wirtz deal. Not by much, but it will definitely be it'll be a transfer record, a British transfer record for sure. Asim, you're on mute.
I said, can you see Newcastle negotiating a straight cash deal, or would they be interested in some players? Like we offer a Joe Gomez, we offer a Jarell Quansah, we maybe offer someone like Harvey Elliott to him.
I think those will be separate deals then, Asim.
Oh, Avi, look who's here, man. The first time I've seen Mr. Ivan Schwarzkopf. Ivan Schwarzkopf. Yeah.
Good friend of ours for a long time. Big up, Ivan.
Ivan, man, it's very nice of you to join us today. Stay tuned. You might get a little snippet that you can share on your Twitter later on. But nice seeing you, mate. And stick around. Go, Navi.
I think any separate deals involving player swaps, there will be individual deals, Asim. I very rarely will you see now players chucked in a deal and a player swap. No, I think it'll be separate deals. I mean, Joe Gomez, there's a lot of talk about his future. Jarell Quansah, who was linked with Newcastle a couple of seasons ago, wasn't it, when the Anthony Gordon stuff popped up? But no, I think Liverpool will. This will be a straight deal between the player and the club.
Okay. Do you think Liverpool will draw a line in terms of any deadlines to Newcastle? Like give us a proper answer, maybe to the player as well. As in, look, this is the date that if you don't sort something out, or if we can't strike a deal, we move on. Do you think Liverpool will keep sniffing around? Because if we're going to believe reports, Avi, it looks like Arsenal have moved on. Why are Liverpool still there? Tell me.
They're there, woman. They're there because the interest is there, Asim. They're there because Newcastle haven't denied anything. They're there because.
Why have Arsenal moved on?
Because I don't think they've got the finances to do this deal.
Really?
Yeah. Let me put my headphones on, Asim. 1 minute.
Okay, because I was going to ask you a question. Chin says 700 in here. Smash the like button and subscribe. If Ivan is in the building, people, come on. Just do it for Ivan tonight. Oh, thank you so much, Ivan. Big up, mate. Just share the stream on my page. Ask him, keep up the great work, mate. Big salute to Ivan Shoskov, and go head over to his Twitter. And do you have any more socials, Ivan? I've not seen him. I've not come across him, mate. So head over to Ivan and show him some love and support. Keep up the brilliant work as ever. Rumi says, I've spanked the like button. We're on the race to 20K. And if we have to do your heading this summer, we will make sure we are. If Liverpool have got the basket, if they're all the eggs on one basket for even for Isak this summer, if Liverpool have got the trolley out for all their signings for the summer of madness, and we've got the trolley out today, this summer, for 20,000 subscribers by the end of the transfer window or just the start of the season. Do you think we can get there? We can if you show us the love and support that you always showed us. Avi, back to you. Do you think Arsenal have moved away because Isak himself has
said
told
Liverpool?
them,
Maybe.
I only want Liverpool.
Maybe.
Just like Man City moved away. Just like Bayern Munich moved away. Do you think we're there yet?
No, because my belief is that Arsenal can't financially do this deal. Asim.
Why are we?
They've spent quite a lot of money. They've spent quite a bit of money in the last 2 summers, Asim, and they need to fix the midfield issue. They need a left winger. They need a number 9, but I don't think they can.
Avi, that is their number 9.
But Asim, they can't go all in for Alexander Isak like that for 130 million. I don't think they can. They're capable of doing that deal. And Alexander Isak, the deal you said, could this drag on or will we draw a line? I don't think we will draw a line this summer for it. I think this could potentially be like an Andy Carroll January of when it was 2011 or 2010, whenever it was 2012, when Keddy was in charge. It could be one of those ones. This goes right down to the wire because I think Newcastle will be shopping for replacements. And we know how this window works. You know, if other clubs are getting whiff that Isak will be leaving Newcastle, then they'll put their premium prices up and then Newcastle will have to haggle as well for other forwards. So I think this particular player, Alexander Isak, and I know Slot and Klopp and previous managers want players in before pre-season, but this particular deal could drag on till the last few hours of the transfer window. Even
the last day of the transfer deadline?
If we still believe that this belief, yeah. And imagine that, Asim. Getting it, and we're actually professionals at this. We're actually the goats of this, getting deals done last minute. Andy Carroll, Mario Balotelli, that was done like very late on in the transfer window. In Luis Suarez, we were linked with him in early January, but that dragged on to the final few days of that particular transfer window, the same transfer window that we got Andy Carroll in. Yeah. So this one, this could play out into like a Hollywood movie, Asim.
Avi, do you think João Pedro links to Newcastle are linked to Isak moving away, or are they simply just strengthening their squad because they're in the Champions League?
A bit of both, strengthening, and obviously Callum Wilson has left. But Callum Wilson, people keep saying, oh, he's replacing Callum Wilson. But Callum Wilson didn't play that many times last season. So João Pedro's coming in. He's not coming in to play second fiddle to Alexander Isak. He will want game time week in and week out. And I know there's a lot of flexibility with João Pedro. He can drop back into a midfield position. He can play as a 10. He can lead the line. But he's not coming to play second fiddle to Alexander Isak. He'll want to be the main man too. I think this is a bit of both, where they're preparing to rebuild after Isak and also have a player that can complement Isak too.
Okay. So you're completely ruling out any transfers between Liverpool and Newcastle when it comes to regards, Harvey Elliott, Joe Gomez, Jarell Quansah, even if they are separate deals in their own right.
No, they could be separate deals, but I don't think Harvey Elliott will be going to Newcastle.
Okay.
I think Joe Gomez is an option for Newcastle. I think Jarell Quansah could be a very good option. But then I look at Jarell Quansah and look at the competition of centre-backs that Newcastle have. I don't know whether Newcastle will be coming back in for Jarell Quansah. And Moise makes a great point, by the way. They wouldn't be bringing a João Pedro at 60 million just to warm up the bench. Newcastle, I don't believe Newcastle are in that position yet. I know they've got rich owners and I know they will flex their muscle this summer. But I don't think they're in a position to say to Joao Pedro, yeah, look, you're just going to be a sub to begin with because you're going to play second fiddle to Isak. Football, especially now, like it doesn't
Yeah.
work that way.
And the thing is, Avi, I think just João Pedro, even though he does bits when he comes deep and stuff,
Mhm.
I think on paper he can start only one position for me. He's not
The
a
nine.
natural 10.
Mhm.
Is in the 9. And obviously he's not a conventional 9, but he can't play off the left. He doesn't really take players on. He can't play on the right.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't play on the right, and Murphy's done a decent job. And they might even want to upgrade on Murphy. I think they were also linked with Brian and Buemo, someone who can get
That
goals.
would be a great signing for them, by the way. And Buemo, and
Mm.
I'm surprised United have had a clear run. I know prior to Thomas Frank going to Spurs, but I was surprised that Man United had a clear run, unless the player obviously has said that he wants to join Manchester United. But I'm surprised that there wasn't a lot more competition for Brian Buemo. And apparently Newcastle want Alanga from one of the comments that I'm just briefly reading.
Ilanga, where would Ilanga play on the right hand side then?
Right hand side. And Asim, you know what? We not laugh, but we probably ridicule um, Alanga to another big club because and we always have this. This is the problem with modern day football. We
Mm.
always think because he's failed at Man United and he's gone to Nottingham Forest and he's put up very good numbers. We would be
Yeah.
impressed with those numbers that he's put up at Nottingham Forest for the last season and a half. But he's a very useful player, more than useful. He has pace. He has one key asset that United probably lack right now is a natural pace. And he would be brilliant. You got Gordon, Harvey Barnes, Alanga, João Pedro. That quartet there, and you just beef it up with one or two additions. I think Newcastle will be okay to part ways with the Isak.
Okay, that's fine. Um,
And what
let's.
stops Newcastle going in for a Gyökeres? Because Gyökeres is the mystery to everyone. Asim this summer and last summer as well. He's bagged in the last 2 years. He's been one of the most prolific strikers in world football. Now, why isn't anyone taking that chance? Why isn't another club like a Manchester United, Arsenal, who are craving a number 9? What is it with Gyökeres that people are skeptical about?
You tell me.
Oh, I can't answer. That's why I asked the question to you.
Is it purely on age?
He's what, 26 going into 27?
Mm.
If you're desperate for a goal scorer like Arsenal are,
27
Gyökeres.
now.
Sorry, there you go,
Just
Gyökeres.
just turned 27 about a week ago.
And I'm not saying linked with Liverpool, but why hasn't another club pushed the boat out? He's always talk of the town in the recent months. Fabrizio Romano has been talking and talking and talking up Gyökeres, but why hasn't another club like a Spurs or a Arsenal or United come in for him? For me, that is baffling, Asim.
Yeah. Rehan, I don't think Isak turns 27 in January. He's 25 at the moment. He turns 26 in Jan, not 27. Abby, just predictions. There's a lot going to be a lot. By the time the transfer window is short, I think about 4 or 5 of these number 9s that we mentioned over the last 3-4 months will get their moves. The Gyökereses, maybe the Ekatikes, the Delaps has already got it. Sesko, maybe Osimhen. I'm going to throw some names at you. You just give me the club where you think they'll end up, and just purely on a hunch. Sesko. Wasn't that hard?
Which club you'll end up at?
Mm.
Newcastle.
What?
Yeah.
Newcastle. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll keep on going. Gyökeres.
Arsenal.
So you think they can go
I'll
for?
flip this. Yeah, I'll flip the script there.
Okay. Ekitike.
Chelsea.
João Pedro.
Newcastle.
Alexander Isak.
Liverpool.
This summer.
This summer.
End the stream.
Victor Osimhen. Newcastle.
They buy 2 strikers.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I ask you one more?
Is João Pedro a 20-goal a season in the Premier League? I'm not too sure. Osimhen would be a bagsman at Newcastle.
Can I ask you one more?
Of course, you can ask me as many questions as you like. Do not sleep on him. Do not sleep on him.
Okay. Interesting. Why do you think Sesko ends up at where was he ending? Newcastle. So you think they buy Sesko and Osimhen? Wow. Ivan
And
thinks
and after João Pedro.
they buy 3 strikers, Avi. What the hell? No, man. I was with you at 2. You should have left it there.
No, who did you? But I said João Pedro. Sesko's a weird one. Sesko could be Chelsea. Actually. I didn't say Chelsea. Sesko could go to Chelsea. João Pedro.
You went Ekitike with Chelsea.
Yeah, I did as well. Shit. I think Newcastle could go in for Victor Osimhen. Osimhen makes more sense than Sesko, so I'll retract that. Sesko, I'm not too sure. Sesko, I don't want to second guess either. I think Newcastle could go with João Pedro and Victor Osimhen.
João Pedro and Victor Osimhen. Ivan's asking, do you want my opinions? We're always interested in your opinions.
Ivan, come on. Ivan, you don't need to.
I just think Arsenal have done a lot of legwork with 2 of the players. I think Gyökeres.
Who said Avi is so clueless? Who's that? Who put that up?
I can't see it. Oh, that is. Oh, it's all right, man. Come on. They spelled your name wrong, so that's all right.
Be careful, boy. Be careful.
I think one of these strikers doesn't get their move. I don't know who it is, but I don't think every number 9 that we've just talked about gets their move.
I have a feeling that it's Ekitike.
Yeah, probably. But where does I think Gyökeres might end up at Man United.
So you got Boemo, you would have Cunha, and then you got Gyökeres. Okay. Cunha coming in from the left.
Yeah, 2 10s. I think Gyökeres may be waiting for Arsenal at the moment. I think if he wasn't, he might have just ended up at Man United by now. I think he's waiting for Arsenal, the bigger club. And Ekitike is probably waiting for us, but we're waiting for Isak. There's a lot of games of chess are going at the moment.
There is. It's going to be a domino effect about who blinks first.
Yeah.
And there's a 5-6 player talent pool there where as soon as one gets done, the rest will follow. So I think it's bang on, Asim.
Okay. Anything else broke today? Joe Gomez was linked with a move away. Also want to get your thoughts about Anthony Gordon links. They just keep popping up, Avi. We're talking about Newcastle. We'd rather get Gordon out of the way as well. Do you think there is something there? It's clear, Avi, that if Liverpool go in for Anthony Gordon, whether it's today, tomorrow, next year, in about 15 million years, even when he's retired, he'll come back as in some sort of form. He'll take a job up at Liverpool. He loves the club. He's always hanging around Curtis. They're on holiday together again. Wherever you see Anthony Gordon, you see Curtis Jones. And they're clearly talking about Liverpool and how close he was. He was telling all the England camp yesterday. But Anthony Gordon, Avi, it's a bit of a polarizing figure, even amongst Liverpool.
Could you see Liverpool parting ways with up to 210 million for Isak and Gordon?
No. I think we get one of them.
Yeah.
I
don't think it'll be Gordon. As much as he wants to play for Liverpool, I'm not sure our feelings are the same anymore.
Really? Because we're priced out? We can't see him at 70, 80 million pounds?
You know my thoughts. I know Trina loves the player, but 80, 90 million pounds on...
No, forget your...
80, 90 million on Gordon this summer would be too much, I think.
Okay. I probably, that's last season is put me off.
Asim, I tell you who excites me. Malik Fofana excites me. I don't
Malik
know whether
Fofana's
that's the
Avi.
right way of saying it, but like I like the look of Malik Fofana. Malik Fofana, Asim,
Uh-huh.
is a player that you get in now, you let him bed in for a season, and then he just bursts.
But Avi, can we afford to do that? Can we afford to get rid of someone like Luis Diaz, who's provided us games, who's provided us various roles in the team, false nine as well, as we all know, who's provided output last season? Can we afford to go get rid of him and go into a total project as good as Malik Fofana and his
If he's coming up on
is?
the if he comes up high on the data nerds and the analytics, I don't think he'll be as much as a project as people think.
It's
Do you
interesting.
understand what I mean? If he's coming up high on all the analytics, he's not a project, then is he? He's one that the club or the
He doesn't
transfer
come up.
strategic team.
He doesn't
He
come up
doesn't.
really high.
Fair
I
enough.
gave it a check. I asked Mizgan today and to send me some numbers, and I've not really looked at these in detail. But he normally gives me his little, a few thoughts of his, because when he sends me the graphic, and he says he's more of a wide forward than just a winger. GA would be his thing. And then I sent him an audio, and he says, what did he say? Yeah, he can. I go look whenever I watched him. Only, albeit it was only a few comps here and there. He does look like a guy who can play, take a player on. And he goes, yeah, he can take people on, but expect more. I expect more output from him. I've also seen limited compilations.
He is also 20 years old. Like, I know people
Of
are talking about
course,
output, but he's 20 years old.
of
Like,
course.
come on, guys.
But he goes stats wise. It looks like he's an output type of guy, but that doesn't really worry me, because Avi, we do need output from wide areas, because we've got the likes of Florian Wirtz this summer creating from the center of the pitch. So if you're an output guy, you can get a lot of shot creating actions, and whether it's goals and assists at the age of 20, then you've got plenty of room to scale up.
If Gakpo carries on with his 25 GA of last season, and this little fella was to come in, hypothetically speaking, and gets us 15 to 20 GA, then we're laughing, aren't we?
What about this lad? Have you seen much of him?
Sandiao, no.
No,
I do need to
he's
watch more.
Mane. He's Mane and more so Sa regen.
We need to stop talking. And I don't rate Ismail Assar. I'm sorry.
Billy loves him.
He had a good sort of half a season at Watford. I know he's played well this season for Palace, but no, he doesn't move me, guy. And he's like 28, 29 now, 28, 27 or something. Mane was very unique, and we underplay Mane's achievements at this football club. Doesn't get highly spoken of enough. He doesn't get spoken about enough what Sadio Mane did for Liverpool over those 6 years.
Okay.
Super chats.
Super chats. I think we've got a few. Where was it?
Guys, make sure you're liking and subscribing, please.
Asim Isak is coming. Believe I've already put that up. Thank you very much, Ali. James David Ornstein on the 6th of March. Liverpool will only move for Isak if he's genuinely available. But it's a thank you very much for your super chat, James. But
thank you, James.
Like we were saying, I mean, nobody shut it down. Nobody has shut this down. And that can only mean a good thing. Ali, again, thank you so much. Isak, Asim Isak wants Liverpool. That's why Arsenal left. And that's what I was asking you, Avi. You could argue, Avi, because we won the league, Arsenal needed a number 9 more than us. Agree?
But yeah. Arsenal have been wanting this. Arsenal have been needing a number 9 since Alexis Sanchez, maybe? Who was a bit of a drifter as well, but he put up great numbers, but he was a bit of a drifter. He wasn't always a 9-9, but they've missed a number 9 for a number of years.
Gabriel Jesus is a decent player, good enough to get you top 4 if he stays fit. But the problem is once you get top 4, and then the other problem is he doesn't stay fit.
Yeah, he doesn't stay fit, and as if he doesn't get you 20 goals a season.
He doesn't. He's the kind of guy where you bring, and Martinelli needs to get 20 goals a season because Saka will. Saka will. So he does work his ass off. He's a B-Tech version of Bobby, if you like. But Bobby got his goals and he went on a few purple patches, as we know. Aki's in the building. Nice to see him. If you end up Isak, I don't know how I'll react. I don't know how we'll all react. Tayyib says Martinelli is that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because they were being linked with Rodrigo as well. Can they really go get an upgrade? Avi, Nico Williams is clearly a player they like, but he wants to play with Lamine Yamal at Barcelona.
Yeah. And it looks as if
So
that deal's going to be done soon as well, which is surprising because I was under the impression that they needed to sell before they did anything with purchases. It may be just a delayed deal where they agree, but then actually confirmation, the brand, the media work is later down the line.
yeah, Avi, if I'm just gonna put up a few messages. You can read them. I just quickly need to do something. Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask you about Joe Gomez. 30 million. Do Liverpool take it this summer? And do they take it and then go buy Mark Gahey, who is a cheap-ish deal this summer as well?
I don't think there's any interest in Gahey.
No interest.
I
Wow.
don't think there'll be interest, Asim. I know you kind of think it makes sense, and I think it does make sense. I don't know whether we pull that trigger. 30 million for Joe Gomez this summer is incredible money, considering he only turned out 17 games last season.
Yeah.
30 million at 28, I believe, or he's 27 now. Especially with the injuries that he's had, poor guy. It's incredible money. It'll be a sad day when Joe Gomez leaves, by the way. Very sad day.
Do you think he leaves?
50-50, Asim. Sorry, I'm sitting on the fence. I'm doing a U here. I'm doing a U.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I can suck there.
Okay, I think Avi, I'm not going to go because I need to redirect the people to Husam's channel. There's a new member that's become a member. Imtiaz, thank you so much, brother.
Imtiaz Ali.
Who's he? Do you know
You
him?
don't know who Imtiaz Ali is?
Imtiaz Ali, no? Was he a Pakistan cricketer or something?
Imtiaz knows who I am.
Here is Ivan's thoughts.
Go on,
Ivan Shortskov. Oh, super chat. Thank you so much, Ivan.
Andrew
Arsenal.
LFC. Wow.
Ooh. Isak where? Chelsea.
Shaka Cobbs having a.
No. Isak Liverpool, Chelsea Gyökeres, Newcastle Pedro.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Newcastle Pedro. Oh, then I agree with it.
Gyökeres to Chelsea. Interesting, because I don't think we've seen any links.
Guys, if no one's following Ivan, I don't know where you lot have been living for the last 3 years, but he is him and Indy. They're a barrel of laughs. So go and give them a follow on Twitter. Ivan is a very unique character.
A Bomba, if I think it is anyway. People are talking about some Pletico tweet. Today marks the big day for Florian Wirtz at Liverpool. As reported, he is set to arrive today. Part 1 of his medical is expected to be completed later today, if possible.
Later today, as in what? Wednesday?
Yes, and then probably a second part tomorrow. Then maybe Thursday. The unveiling on Friday.
Friday, wow.
Florian Friday, Milos Monday, maybe Avi, or later in the week.
Milos soon. Milos imminent. That's what I'll say.
Milos done.
I don't agree with the carry on, but yeah, Milos Kirkos is a done deal. I'm going to be interesting and intrigued to hear the final numbers with that fee.
I think Ben Jacobs said 40 million.
Including add-ons?
Jeans, look at this, man. Bit of attitude here. Bit of attitude. If you're sat in bed on your phone, why can't you come on the show? Agreed, Davi?
All I will say is Gina while he's in Turkey. Ek ladki ko dekha to aisa laga.
Keep liking, people. There's still 740 of you here. Keep liking. We might not be able to read, but you guys can smash a like. If anyone tells me how many likes we're on, it'll be nice. So we'll just keep whacking that like button, people. Avi, I think we're done, but I just need to. There's some technical issues I'm having in redirecting people. 2 seconds, Avi. If you can just go, can you bring some comments up?
No, I'm on my phone.
Keep people entertained, man.
I'll keep entertained. There's no Bomba today, guys. No blue chip Bomba. But the device will be unveiled. It'll be coming back. Actually, not unveiled. Everyone's seen it already. The orange device will be back in motion. Not tomorrow, not Friday. I'm on vacation. I'll be back on Sunday though. On Sunday show, I should have a bomber, and hopefully the device will tell us where Alexander Isak will be playing his football next season. So we will do that. Please like and subscribe. Has anyone been watching the Club World Cup? It's been a bit of a drab. I saw a certain brand's performance today. Very poor, I heard. 65 minutes, and then I believe he just came off. I don't think he was hooked, but I think he just came off. So saw a bit of that game. That competition will get better as the weeks go on. I think once it gets to quarterfinal stage, I think Chelsea, if they top the group and PSG top their group, they play in the quarterfinal. Salzburg tomorrow. It's always good to see Salzburg and the youngsters coming through there. Keep an eye out on Karim Konate. I'm not sure if he's with the squad. I know he had a nasty injury this summer or this season. But Karim Konate, he's a number 9 who's been hyped up a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see him. Saw a bit of Manchester City today. Nothing much from Manchester City. I know Foden grabbed a goal. I thought Cherky was poor. So for all those people that said, oh, we should have got Cherky. Let's see what he does. But apparently he was shite. Marmoush was okay, I heard. Oscar Bob. Asim, I'm not sure if I've said it before on this show, but Oscar Bob is the talent. He had a nasty injury last season, and he was going to be his breakout season at 18. But Oscar Bob, keep an eye out on that Norwegian. He's going to be the one that City rely on in a few years to come. He's going to do some serious numbers from the wing. Very highly talented kid. And Manchester City, their school or their academy, full of youngsters. We've got Regan Heskey, I believe, who plays there, Emil Heskey's son. They got loads of talent coming through at City, but Oscar Bob's the one to watch out for me. If there's a breakout player for me this season of any team, it's going to be Oscar Bob. And also Trent Kone-Doherty, Asim, I believe, will have a place in pre-season this season as well. So that's interesting coming from the from a bit of a Bomba news there. Kone-Doherty and I believe Rio Ngamua, he will definitely go during pre-season too.
Okay, brilliant. Admin has just told me that we have redirected. Go head over to Sam's channel and check out what he's chatting. I'm sure he's talking about Isak and all things Liverpool. But until tomorrow, Duakaro. Alexander Isak, Avi, it's all about what you just said. Dua. It's all about. Give us another Duakaro.
Not the way I do. Not the way I do it on voice notes. I won't do that because people will think I'm taking the piss.
Hassan plays that every 5 minutes. Honestly,
the way I say it,
he goes around the pharmacy just saying that all day.
But the way I say it,
yes, he's a blah like you. He's a blah. I'm just gonna quickly check if I missed any super chats. I don't think I have. I think we've covered everything. Okay, people.
Asim, this saying, show us your jersey. Any chance of you standing up? I know you've got a bit of a stick belly, but any chance?
No, I can't. I can't stand. No, because I'm in shorts. I'm in shorts, and they're not exactly shorts as well.
It looks good though. The kit looks good though. I do like that kit.
Okay, maybe tomorrow during the day, if the sun's out, I'll show you my top when I've got a thumb on. Okay, people. Until tomorrow, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.